Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day and welcome to the New Sage channel. In this video I'm going to be covering Spawn. He made his first appearance in Spawn issue number 1 in May of 1992. His real name is Albert Francis Simmons, but he often goes by Al. As an ordinary human, Al stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighs 234 pounds, having brown eyes and black hair. But as Spawn, he stands 6 feet 11 inches tall and weighs over 400 pounds and has green eyes. Now, although a characteristic of Spawn is that his costume constantly evolves, I'll go over his basic power set, which is still quite impressive. He has the ability to emit pheromones that can attract certain creatures of darkness, and these creatures will automatically attack any being of light that's around. In addition to this, he can control the specific actions of these creatures of darkness to have them do anything he wants them to do. And it should be noted that these creatures of darkness typically include things like wolves, bears, worms, and even bats. Spawn also has a limited ability to manipulate the elements, and after a storyline where he visited Green World, he found that he had the ability to control plants, as well as listen to Mother Nature. Spawn has energy manipulation, necroplasm bombs, he can fly, he's exhibited hydrokinesis, and at least on one occasion has created a tidal wave to destroy his enemies. He's functionally immortal and has a degree of invulnerability as well. He can become invisible and possesses extreme magical powers. Now, it has to be noted that this necroplasmic magic has its limits. He actually had started with 9,999 units, as they're called, of necroplasmic energy. And anytime he goes outside of his costume's natural ability set, it drains a certain amount of these units. Spawn can phase through solid objects like walls. He can psychically link with other beings. He can create portals to cross to other dimensions or other planes of existence. Spawn can manipulate reality itself. Spawn has even been shown to have an accelerated healing factor, similar to Wolverine. And many times this ability can be exponentially boosted by a black energy transfer. Now, this is a transfer of energy from creatures of darkness, like I named earlier, to his costume itself, which is named the K7 Leetha costume. Oh, and keep in mind that this costume is literally a living symbiotic organism. To go on with his impressive abilities, although it takes quite a bit of his power, he can shapeshift as well. He has soul manipulation, and as a subset of this, can actually resurrect people that have been dead. He has vast superhuman endurance and durability, including superhuman strength that's of an unknown limit. His speed and reflexes are both at extremely heightened levels as well, and his suit can react fast enough to block bullets without him even consciously thinking about it. Spawn also has telekinesis over objects other than just water, and he's been shown to shut doors around enemies in a room to keep them from escaping. Using telepathy, he can manipulate the memories of others or completely erase their memories. He has a limited ability to manipulate time itself. And Spawn also has the power of transmutation, meaning that he can manipulate matter at a molecular level. Now, if all these powers weren't enough, he still has carried over abilities from when he was a human. And due to his training in the US Marines and the CIA, he's a master interrogator, intimidator, and has an indomitable will. He's been trained in assassin techniques and ninja fighting styles, is an expert tactical analyst, and is a master at using stealth, as well as being proficient in using many different forms of weapons. Now, to give a little insight on his symbiotic costume, the K7 Leetha, as it's called, is actually alive, as I stated earlier. And while wearing this suit, he, being the host, takes the dominant role. The cape, spikes, chains, and skulls that are all part of the suit are actually bonded to his central nervous system, and these things automatically adapt to whatever he thinks. This K7 model suit actually feeds on the souls that it kills, and it makes it stronger and more refined. And since this suit is one of the most advanced that have ever been in Malebolgia's army, it actually makes Spawn stronger than those that came before him. Spawn having an advanced healing factor while donning the suit is actually very rare, and it's called the Gift. In addition to this ability, this gift gave Spawn the capacity to move to higher states at an unprecedented pace. This perceived success was very vexing for the Violator, who was constantly against him. Now, to be completely frank about this, Spawn is the flagship of Image Comics. And if it was not for him, Image Comics would likely not exist. Now, due to that, he's had many adventures over the years, and has had many crossovers with other brands' characters as well. For the sake of simplicity, I'll just go over his basic origin story. Now, the man, Albert, aka Al Simmons, was born the second of 3 children in Detroit, Michigan. As he grew to be a young man, he was extremely intelligent and was very physically strong. He eventually joined the United States Marine Corps and achieved the rank of lieutenant colonel. After separating from the Marines, he moved on to become part of the U.S. Secret Service. And due to there being an occasion where he saved the president from an assassination attempt, he became a highly decorated member and was then promoted to be part of the CIA. Now, during his time at the CIA, he was recruited into a special division of them that was known as the U.S. Security Group, which was a task force with jurisdiction in all domestic and foreign situations, and it was commanded by CIA Director Jason Wynn. One day while Al was on a mission in Botswana, he was double-crossed by Director Wynn. He ends up being murdered and his soul is sent to hell because of his lifestyle. When he gets there though, he's offered a strange opportunity and makes a deal with the devil to become a Hellspawn and serve under Malebolgia. In exchange for this servitude, he's told that he'll be allowed to see his wife Wanda once again. But, just like many deals with the devil, it wasn't all that it was cracked up to be. Because when he got back to the world, he had very few memories of his past, a badly burned body, and an absolute jerk that watched him all the time, known as the Clown, aka the Violator. Eventually, after having periodic and distressing flashbacks, he started to remember the deal that he made and what he was doing back. He soon realized that he was back 5 years after he had died, and using CIA files, he tracked down his wife just to find that his best friend Terry had married her and they now had a daughter named C.I.A. Soon after this revelation, he ran into a fellow Hellspawn who told him about his powers and how they were fueled by necroplasm. He let Spawn know that once these necroplasmic units were used up, that he has to return to Hell. Naturally, not wanting to go back to Hell, Spawn tried to find out his purpose in life while using as little power as possible. This is when he embarked in many different adventures and ended up brutally taking down street gangs and organized crime in New York City. He finally felt as if he'd found a new purpose in stopping evil. Ironically, Malebolgia liked this because every person he killed was another body in his army of hell. But these battles started to take a toll on Spawn, and the Mafia was getting more and more upset at him because they blamed him for a string of recent mob deaths that were actually done by the Violator. Spawn ended up getting his first big test when the mob put their cyborg enforcer on him named Overt-Kill. And although Spawn beat him, he barely survived. Soon after this, he got the attention of a so-called heavenly angel named Angela, who saw him as a threat. The two of them engaged in battle and he barely beat her as well. Recognizing the strength of Spawn, so-called Heaven then ordered Gabrielle, who was the director of Terran Affairs headquarters, to send a being called Redeemer to take care of him before he became too powerful. At this point, something called the Orbital Angel Station picked Jason Wynn to become the new Redeemer, but he was ultimately defeated by Spawn as well. Now, due to his extensive and unique powers and abilities, and his immense influence on not only Image Comics, but all of comic books in general, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give Spawn a rating of 10, which is a legendary rating. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like and subscribe to The New Sage.